Is James Harden going to actually be traded? So we all know by now that James Harden has requested to be traded from the Sixers, and right now there hasn't been any deal made. And trades, especially trading for someone of James Harden's caliber and his contract, especially with this new CBA, can be a little bit complicated. So deals don't always happen so quickly, especially when there are a few number of teams that want to get him, because only so many teams can actually make a package that the Sixers want. And there are only so many teams that want to trade for James Harden as well. Now, here's the thing, and this is why, one, I see a chance of James Harden staying with the Sixers, but also that if a deal does get done, it may take a while. You have to remember who is the GM of the Sixers. Like, when we talk about trades and teams trading players, you have to think about who the GM is and their style of, trading players and stuff like that. Their GM is Daryl Morey. And if you know anything about Daryl Morey, well, he is patient. He will wait until he sees the best deal possible. He won't just trade a player right away just because the player requested a trade. Because if you remember the Ben Simmons thing, Ben Simmons sat for an entire year before he found a trade for James Harden, actually, which he thought was, a good trade for them. So my point is, he's very patient. He's in no rush to trade Harden because he knows Harden is on the last year of his contract. So Harden, if he wants another big contract, he's going to need to at least play. The chances of him sitting out are less likely than if he had 3 years left on his deal. And everybody plays chess nowadays. So when you see all these reports coming out from both sides, the player's side, the team who's trying to trade for the player's side, you see a lot of conflicting reports because everyone's just trying to get leverage. So you saw the Clippers will not include Terrence Mann in any deal, which I agree with because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Terrence Mann. I think he's very good. And I think they should not, give him up in the Harden deal. They should try not to. But the point of that, article coming out, and then the Sixers, for example, with Damian Lillard saying Maxey is not available in any trades whatsoever, doesn't matter who it is. It's all about gaining leverage. Also, as an organization, by saying Maxey is off the table in any deals, increases his value because that means that he is so valuable to the team, they don't want to give him up no matter what. So if you gave him up in a deal, the other team would have to feel wow, they won. They got the player who is looked at as something super special. And I think Maxey is special. So it's nothing against Maxey. I actually think he's special. But I'm just saying it's a mind game. You know what I mean? I think Maxey has all-star written all over him. I love his game. I remember when he was a rookie and he got to play the last few games of the season because they had made the playoffs or whatever. They were locked into their seed. And Maxey got to play full starter minutes, and he dropped 42 points. He was going off, and I was oh, he's going to be really good. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. My point is, Daryl Morey has a history of being patient. He will wait until the best deal available comes up, and that also makes sense for him and his organization and his team, whatever it is. So there is a world where James Harden is on the Sixers, and I think it's kind of likely, actually. I see a pretty good scenario of James Harden at least starting the year with the Sixers. Maybe not necessarily finishing the year with the Sixers, although I do think there's actually a better chance of him finishing the season out than people probably think. But at least I think him starting the season is more likely than him being traded, at least for now. And I don't know exactly what the market is for James Harden. We know the Clippers are trying to target him. The Heat probably have a little bit of interest, but they are trying to get Damian Lillard. So, they're not really, targeting James Harden or anything. The Clippers have interest. And I don't know what the Clippers exactly are offering, but it sounds like, they're trying to lowball the Sixers in a way. I don't know what they offered. But obviously, the Clippers are also trying to win a championship next year because it is Kawhi and Paul George's last year's, technically. They both have player options for the year after. But with both of them being injured, every single season, at least for the last couple of years, especially Kawhi, they have to capitalize right now. I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to get. And so they are trying to get James Harden without having to give up much of anything, of course, because they need as much as they can around the team just to make sure that they have the best team and the best chance to win a championship. And on the other side, you have the Sixers, who also are trying to win right now. And next year, they probably feel is their best chance as well. It's Tobias Harris's last year of his contract. Obviously, Maxey is due for an extension after this season. James Harden's on the last year of his deal. And then you got Joel Embiid. I don't know when his contract is up. It's not up next year. I don't know when it's up. But the point is, they think their best chance is also next year. So you got two teams who have the same, opinions about their teams. And like I said, Daryl Morey is patient. So if he doesn't see a trade for James Harden he likes, he'll just keep James Harden because he's not gonna take any deal that in his mind makes the team worse. So that's why I feel like there is a good chance that James Harden at least starts the season with the Sixers. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't know why, but I just feel like James Harden might end up staying the whole season. It's just something I could see happening, giving it one more chance.